Hi, I'm Marshall Brain, and welcome back to part 2 of the Time Capsule video series. As mentioned in part 1, the goal here is to look at a typical weekend day in America circa January 1st, 2010. I'm doing this for my great-great-great-grandchildren 200 years from now so they can see what a typical day looks like in America. So far, we've looked at everything that has to happen at the beginning of the day. The first thing that we're going to do today is take a walk at a local park. To get there, we're going to drive, and this gets us into the topic of cars. In America, in 2010, the vast majority of people get around in cars. Maybe 5% of Americans use public transportation like subways and buses. Everyone else owns and drives cars. There are approximately 250 million passenger vehicles, or roughly 1 per adult in the United States. The Brain family owns one vehicle. It's called a minivan, which is an extremely common car for families in 2010. Specifically, we have a 2008 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT. It has a 197 horsepower, 3.8-liter V6 engine. This engine burns gasoline, and the car gets about 20 miles to the gallon. It weighs about 4,300 pounds empty, and it's made almost entirely of steel and plastic. This would be a typical American car for a family to have in 2010. It is called a minivan. It is about 17 feet long, almost exactly 6 feet wide. It will hold 6 or 7 people. It comes with a key like this, and you can push a button on it and the doors will open. You can push another button on it and the side door will open. And it's costs about $28,000, which is pretty much the average cost of a car in America right now. It has a little entertainment system, so you can pop down these screens and play a DVD and watch a movie while you're going down the road. It burns gasoline. Almost every car in America today burns gasoline. You will hold about 20 gallons of gas, gets about 20 miles to a gallon. That'll let you go about 400 miles before you have to refuel it. We might refuel it once a week. I think a typical American would fill their car up once or twice a week, probably. To drive it, it's completely manual in terms of driving it. So the human being steers it with the steering wheel. You can see there's 2 pedals there for your feet. The right hand one is called the accelerator pedal, the left hand one is called the brake pedal. This thing here is called the emergency brake. You use that when you park it so it doesn't roll away. So you would put your feet down by those pedals. You would sit in the seat, stick your key in the ignition, and then turn it when the engine starts. This little control here, you would put it down this way and that lets you go forward. Or you can put it there and it'll go in reverse. There's a little indicator there. You can see it's complaining at me that it's time to change the oil and that the back door is open, so I don't drive away and rip the door off. But to drive it, you pretty much sit in this seat and give it all your attention out the windshield, steering the car with your hands and speeding it up and slowing it down with your feet. So we are off to a local park called Hemlock Bluffs. We all pile in the minivan. It's cold today, about 30 degrees Fahrenheit, so everybody's wearing coats and hats and gloves. We try to take a family walk like this every weekend, usually at a local park. We try to walk 2 to 3 miles. We do this First of all, because it's a chance to be together as a family. Second, it gets the kids outside and they burn off some energy so they sleep better at night. We can take Trixie for a walk. And since Lee and I are both fat, it gives us a chance to burn off some calories. We'll talk about the whole fat thing in another video sometime. It's a big deal in America in 2010. We might spend an hour or two on a walk like this, and when we get done, kind of the rest of the weekend is stretching out in front of us. What else would we do on a weekend? Well, first of all, since we have 4 kids, we would spend a lot of time on a weekend doing kid stuff, and that means the kids have sports and they have games on the weekend, so we go to a basketball game or a soccer game and watch the kids. The kids have friends who have birthday parties. The kids are involved in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, so they go to those kind of things. David's in a Lego club that builds little Lego robots, so he would go to one of his meetings for that. So we do a lot of shuttling kids around. We'd probably also do some shopping. On the weekend, we would probably do chores, and somewhere in there we would probably stop at a fast food restaurant for lunch. These restaurants are all over America in 2010. There's McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. You pull in at a drive-through window and order. Hey, could I get 3 plain McDoubles and 3 plain McChickens?
Okay. Is that complete your order, sir?
That's all I need, thank you.
650 to your first window.
Thanks. I realize it's hard to read the screen because it's flickering, but what I did was I ordered 3 McDouble sandwiches, which are $1 each, and 3 McChicken sandwiches, which are $1 each. And she charged me $6 plus 52 cents in sales tax. So we pull around to the first window and hand them a credit card, and that's how you pay for your food. Then go to the second window, pick up your food, and let's take a look at what you get.
Good, how are you doing? Thanks so much.
It takes about 3 minutes, and they hand you your order in a big paper bag. We're going to take it over to the grandparents' house, which is about 2 miles away, to eat it.
I don't think you ordered it.
Alright, Irina, so what is this?
I call my
sandwich.
A plain chicken sandwich. You're putting ketchup on it.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
David's.
That's mine.
So you get a piece of chicken and
That
a bun
would mean
for $1. McDonald's would also give you free ketchup if you asked for it.
That ketchup's cooler.
This is what a double cheeseburger looks like.
wow, Dad.
2 pieces of meat and a piece of cheese for $1. Since it's the weekend, one thing you can do is relax. And one common way to relax in America is to watch TV or to watch movies. This is the most common way to watch movies. It's called a DVD. It's a thin piece of plastic that has the movie encoded on it. Each disc holds 1 movie. In this case, Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian. And you put it into a DVD player to watch it. I showed you before that the car has a DVD player. Laptops can play DVDs. Your television set in your house can play DVDs. And it's really common for either just one of us or for the family to sit down and watch a movie together. So the movie pops up on the screen after the DVD loads, which takes a couple of seconds. And it starts playing.
Here are the top 10 movies of 2009. Another very common entertainment option in 2010 is video games. You buy a video game console. In America in 2010, that would be the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3 or a Wii. And you use these little controllers that you hold in your hand to play the video game. It might be a game where you simulate a war, or a game where you simulate flying an airplane, which is what the boys are doing here. The kids also love playing this card game called Pokemon. Irina likes to sew and to crochet. Kids and adults both spend a lot of time using gadgets in 2010. Here Irina is playing with an iPod Touch. I'll try to do a separate video on gadgets. And that is how we would spend a typical weekend day in America in 2010. The kids would normally go to bed around 9 p.m. Lee and I would probably go to bed around 11 p.m. In part 3, what I'd like to do is take you on a tour of a typical American house.